And hello, everyone. Welcome to the Albert and Billy Show here on WUAT AM 1110 Radio and Channel 18 Valley TV and Facebook Live. Thank you guys for watching. And also, you can watch every episode of the Albert and Billy Show on YouTube. The channel that Papa refuses to learn how to do. But one day I'm going to make him learn how to do that. Or at least make him watch it on YouTube. You've never even done that, have you?
My pastor made me watch a little bit the other day.
Well, good. He will not touch the computer. Won't even touch it. And we're joined today by special guest Dean Sparks, who is a candidate, the Democrat nominee for state representative. Hello, Dean.
Thanks for having me here today.
No problem. Glad to have you. I guess you're having to tour around a lot of different places, aren't you?
Well, I'm trying to get around, but I'm also trying to be respectful of the restrictions on COVID, and a lot of people are uncomfortable with having face-to-face stuff. So I'm doing a lot of digital and a lot of mail campaigning.
Oh, yeah.
Mail, I bet you that's good.
Yeah, I think so.
And that has to be an adjustment, though. It has to be.
Well, I really miss knocking on doors and going out and talking to voters. And
the good ground game, yeah.
That's right. But here, we've had a couple of big meetings here at the outdoor market, and we've been able to be distanced, and it's been a really good opportunity to talk to some of the people of Pikeville.
That's true. They have had some events but now we have to say, though, the Boo Bash, that reminds me, Boo Bash, Daryl, you may have turned them off. Are those all the way up? Mm-hmm. Okay. The Boo Bash has been canceled, unfortunately. And that's one of my favorite events we have each year. It always draws a great crowd.
Big crowd.
Yeah, it really does. It always does well here, Dean, but I just found this out, so I'm glad something you said reminded me of that event. So
yeah, going to big events. That's everybody's canceling everything. So
yeah, I mean, I wasn't too surprised. It's a bummer. It's a great event. But it has been canceled. So just know that, folks. And we'll go over some of the Halloween guidelines for you in the following weeks. We have a list of that, and we'll go over that with you. A lot of people don't do trick-or-treating that much no more, though, it seems like.
They're on at First Southern Baptist.
Yeah, they go to like the trunk-or-treat things and things like that, I've noticed.
It's a lot safer.
It is.
And it's convenient to walk from trunk to trunk as opposed to
it is. I know it.
Driveway.
I know it. And I said, even if this wasn't an issue this year, it seems like it's kind of went in that direction anyway. The trunk-or-treats kind of took over a little bit, so to speak. Trick-or-treating doesn't seem to be as popular as it used to be.
Well, one thing that First Southern did, we made it kind of a go-through where people lined up and went through the church in one door and went out the other door. And while they were there, they were able to get popcorn and apples and candy. And they went from booth to booth and just kept on moving.
Yeah.
And it was a non-stop thing. And we had a whole truckload of apples.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I bet you did. I hadn't bought for apples in a long time.
But I don't think I'm hesitant to say that we're going to do anything.
Oh, I'll have to read the guidelines again, but the trunk or treats might still be on. I think that's
the last I heard we were going to do something.
Yeah,
I heard.
I've seen some churches around that are doing drive-through.
You
drive by and put your bag out, and somebody puts candy in it. That way you don't even have to get out of your car. So
okay.
Doesn't sound as much fun.
No, it's not as much fun, but I didn't think about that. But I guess they are doing that, Dean.
Yeah, it's not as much fun as getting in there and wrestling with the kids and
it's
teasing them.
It's kind of sad. It is kind of sad.
It'll come back.
It'll come back. It'll be back next year, folks, and the Boo Bash will be back. Willing. Never better than ever, right?
Good
right.
Lord willing.
That's right.
Now, some of us will be a year older next year.
Well, yeah. Yeah, we sure will. So, Dean, What got you interested in running for state representative?
Well, I didn't really plan to run for state representative, but as I look at what's happening in our legislature, I'm just not satisfied with the whole efforts that the legislature in the state's doing. I think they're spending a lot of time on a particular social agenda, and they're leaving a lot of things that are really important to the people of Tennessee undone. For example, healthcare issues in our hospitals are closing. We've lost, a dozen hospitals in the state or so. We have 300,000 people that could get health care, and we won't expand Medicaid so that these people could get their health care.
Yeah.
And particularly in times like this.
That is very bothersome there.
So, and I see those kind of things. And then I hear stories like, okay, now we have a significant poverty issue in this district. I mean, in up to 30% of the people in some of the areas are living in poverty, don't have enough to eat.
Yes.
But then I'm seeing the state having $732 million that the federal government gave us to help people out of poverty with job training, transportation issues, all those other kind of things.
Yeah.
They left it there for years and didn't even use it. So that money sat there and didn't help. Then I find that there's $300 million of child care to help people get to work.
Right.
Didn't use it. So, and that was a use it or lose it kind of thing. So, I don't know why, it seems to me we have a few poor people in the state.
Definitely.
and they could all use some help. And, if that's what that money is for, we ought to be using it for that. It's no additional tax dollars. It's not going to put any burden on anybody. It's money that's already allocated. So what are we waiting for?
I don't understand that. Yeah.
So one of the things
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I think needs to happen is the legislature needs to have some oversight of what's happening in the administrative offices at the state, and they need to relate to them, and it needs to be related to what the people of Tennessee really need.
That's true.
Health care, living wages. You can't raise a family on $7.25 an hour.
I know, and
it's hard on $17 an hour, right?
Exactly.
So we say, well, unemployment's down. Right, but if you're unemployed at $7.50, or if you're employed at $7.25 an hour, you have to have 3 jobs.
Exactly.
In order to support your family.
That's true.
So I'm just very concerned about those kind of issues. While our legislature seems to be focused on taking away people's rights for camping at the State House. If you're a protester, you camp at the State House, now you're charged with a felony. You could go to prison and lose your rights to vote. And that's a huge problem.
Wow.
I think there's better ways that they can handle that. And I'm sorry these protests were yelling at the legislators, and that's essentially what happened.
Right.
So they make a law that says you can't do that anymore. They spend a lot of time doing things that just don't make a lot of sense to me. That's why I'm running.
That seems to be a national thing. A lot of it don't make sense to me.
Well, that's true too. But all politics is local. It starts at the local level in our state legislatures.
That's true.
Have a big impact on the daily lives of people in Tennessee.
That's true. That is true. Are you enjoying the campaign? Meeting interesting people?
I am meeting interesting people. Like I said, I'm not enjoying it as much as I could when I could go knock on doors and talk to everybody.
I know.
But I am getting to meet a lot of people, and particularly as I'm looking at specific issues, like you talked about First Southern Church, Baptist Church. That's the church you go to, and I've talked with with Miss Hubbard, who's running the
Miss Humble, maybe? Jane Humble, yeah.
The food bank there. And I worked with food bank in Spring City too. And there's no funding available for those kind of things. It seems to me that particularly during this COVID virus, that there ought to be some assistance with that, because I'm very worried. Our kids aren't in school, so consequently they're not getting the foods that they'd gotten most of the time. So our kids are going to be suffering for that.
Yeah, that is true. You'd think there would be some funding for that. What do you think, Papa? You got any questions?
I'd like to know how many counties you are covered by.
Sure, there's about 3 1/3. All of Ray, all of Bledsoe, all of Sequatchie, and just a little bit of Roane County, the south.
Okay.
Of there,
so it's a district.
It's a district. That's correct. So we have different.
It's part of Rome County, though, right?
Yeah, just Rockwood
Okay.
and South, half of Rockwood and South, and they did
Okay.
that. It used to be that Ray County was also with Hamilton County,
Mm-hmm.
and then they changed that, or some people would say gerrymandered it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about all that. But in order to even out the population, that seems to be the way it worked out.
Okay. I was wondering about that.
yeah.
That makes sense, though, I guess.
We've been represented by the same people in this district for a lot of years, and for a lot of years,
Okay,
but
yeah.
you didn't even have a choice. There was no alternative to the guys that were already in office, and so if nothing else,
Oh,
people will have a choice when they
well,
when they pull
yeah,
that lever.
exactly, and they should have a choice. Absolutely.
I think so too. And my opponent's a nice guy, but
Mm-hmm.
he has different philosophy than I do. He follows pretty much the party line.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna party line kind of guy. I'm a guy who's going to vote for the best interest of the people and what the people need in our district.
I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
Will you promise the listeners, the listeners that are listening to you right now,
All right.
and to me, that you'll do your best?
Yeah, I promise I will do my best. Absolutely. I'm a retired person. I've got good income. I've got good health care. These are not things that I'm doing for myself. I believe my background is I was a clergy person. I was a minister a while back. Since then, I've been a social worker where I tried to help kids who are abused and neglected. And I also worked with people who were mentally ill for a while. So I've seen throughout my whole life, through my professional life, the kinds of crises that people face. And I believe it's our responsibility as Christians and as citizens and neighbors that we need to help out as much as we can.
I appreciate that.
I agree with that. Yeah, and the mental illness thing is a real problem anyway. Seems to be a shortage of places to put these people. It's a problem here. It's a problem everywhere.
Well, yeah, and what the unfortunate thing is that our criminal justice system has become the de facto mental health system, and people who are mentally ill end up in our county jails who are not equipped to handle them.
They're
in our state prisons who are not equipped to handle them.
Absolutely not.
Schools are not either.
Schools
No.
no, you get these kids that got severe behavior
We
problems.
have some emotionally shortchanged children that are in the middle school and in the high school.
Yeah.
And those teachers are doing a tremendous job with what they have.
Yeah, all they can do is the best they can.
I've been in both situations several times as a sub, and I'm proud of what they're doing.
Well, my wife is a teacher, and my daughter is a teacher, and so I know exactly what you're talking about. And I used to run, as part of one of my psychiatric hospitals I worked at, a severe behavior handicap program with kids who really had some very disturbing behaviors because of whatever happened in their lives.
Right.
Which kind of helped me move into child protection so that maybe we can stop some of this horrendous things to happen to kids: severe abuse, severe neglect, sexual assault on young kids.
Oh, that's horrible. Yeah.
That we really have to put a lot of effort and emphasis into that.
But if you have told everybody and me that you do your best, that satisfies me.
I'm going to do the best that I can know how to do.
That's good.
And the other thing
They don't satisfy the viewers
is
and
that
listeners.
I'm likely to call up and say, viewers, I'm going to be at the Pikeville Market. Come and tell me what you think about a particular issue that we've got to do. Or I'm going to be down here to the restaurant. Well, the restaurant's not open down there anymore, but I'll find a place, and we could meet, and you could give me your input.
That's right.
Because I don't know all the answers to everything, for crying out loud. But
did y'all hear what he said?
That's good. That you're honest
He's
about
honest.
that.
He's honest.
Yeah.
oh, if I knew,
Nobody does. Nobody does.
yeah, I wish I knew as much as I would need to know to do this job. So I'm going to have to have help from everybody.
Exactly.
Well, if you've not done it before, you've got to learn.
It's true.
I've got to learn. Now, I worked for government as an employee, but I've never been one of the policy makers. I've been one of the policy implementers. And sometimes I scratch my head and say, well, that doesn't even make sense.
Oh, I bet. I bet.
So
some things don't.
Just for example, we have there is a law. It's called the Adoption Safe Families Act for children, and one of the things is tried to move kids out of foster care, either back home or into adoptive home as quickly as they can, so they don't linger in foster care. That's a good thing. Now, the bad part about that is, for people who are drug addicted, if at least it was a few years ago, and it probably still is, if you had 3 attempts to get yourself clean and you failed, then you could lose your kids forever. Or if you were in if your kid was in foster care for 22 out of the past 24 months, you could lose your children forever. Now, we all know that it takes multiple attempts. Sometimes 7's the number that hits my mind, although it may be 11 attempts to get clean off of drugs. And we've got the horrendous opioid problem in our communities. And I know my youngest daughter, we adopted her in her family had similar issues.
Really?
So I do have some experience with that. She's turned out to be a wonderful girl. I have 4 kids. She's the youngest, and we adopted her. She was also a cousin of mine.
Okay.
Her mother was my cousin.
Okay.
I've got 3. She now works for one of the airlines, and so she's kind of been grounded since this COVID thing.
Oh, yeah.
Then I've got 3 other kids. One is a federal probation deputy director for the state of New Jersey. So anybody that's on probation for for federal crimes, he's responsible for them. And I have a daughter who was a sergeant in the United States Army. She did 10 years in the Army, and now she works for the Army Corps of Engineers.
Wow.
And then I have a daughter who's a music teacher. So all of my kids are in the service.
Yeah.
All in the service, because we believe that service is about the most important thing you can do, and that's a social, political, and a religious conviction for me.
Yeah, exactly.
You seem to be well-rounded.
Right.
I've been around for a long time. Thank you very much.
Well, is there anything you'd like to tell the voters out there before you participate in our trivia? We'll give you a chance to talk to the people, a message you want to give them.
Well, one of the things that I'm trying to emphasize, and I know you introduced me as the Democrat candidate, and I am, and in this area that sometimes can be a challenge.
True, that's true. Yes, it is.
But what I want folks to know is that I'm here not to work for the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. I'm here to work for the people of District 31.
Yeah.
And everybody has to be something. You got to be something. And even to get on the ballot, there was already a Republican there.
Right.
Of course, I have been a Democrat for a long time, but I'm not a Bernie Sanders kind of out there left winger who's gonna revolutionize. I just want to do right by the people that live here.
Exactly.
That's all I want to do.
That's good enough.
And I've heard a lot of Democrats in this area say that. That's a good point. That's a good point. Well, I definitely appreciate you joining us today and telling us about your campaign. And now you're going to get to play a little trivia with us.
All right, I'll give it my best shot.
I'll have some help today.
I don't know, not for much help from me, but we'll give it a try.
They're from, oh man, you'll see.
In our building, to my left here, right next door, used to be our local theater.
Oh yeah.
And
he worked at it.
When you went to the movies, you had someone who was a matinee. Who was your favorite? That was the matinee, but that person would be a matinee
headliner or something.
Well, what do you call a headliner?
A star.
All right. What is another word for star?
Actor. Celebrity.
An idol. A matinee idol.
Matinee idol. Oh, why couldn't I think of that? I can remember them.
One.
All right.
That was tough.
Give me the kin to an X-ray.
Akin to an X-ray.
What else do you have besides an X-ray? What do you call it? 3 letters.
MRI.
MRI.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't know what MRI stands for.
Magnetic resonance, something or other.
Okay, now everybody in this room, including Daryl, ought to get this one.
Okay.
Halo wearer.
Oh, angel.
An angel.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you got that first.
Can
Billy.
anybody else get a halo?
Huh.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I've never.
Mm-mm.
Well, I've seen some little children that you'd like to put
You
a
would
halo
think
over.
that, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's because they're angels.
Till they,
Exactly.
till they get 2 years old.
Yeah.
The workout venue. Where do you work?
A gym?
Jim.
The gym.
Okay.
Or maybe a spa. Where was Mork's planet?
Oh, gosh. You're talking about the show Mork and
Mork
Mindy.
from
I don't remember that.
Mork from Ork.
Orc, yeah. You're too
Mork
young?
from Ork.
Orc.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I mean, I've heard of the show, but I don't think I've ever seen it, though.
All right.
He giggled on that one.
I know. It must be a tough one.
I believe I better leave this one off.
That really must be a tough one, then.
Gloom's partner. Gloom and
Doom.
Doom.
Okay.
These are too easy.
No, they're not.
They're
That was
too
a
easy.
guess.
They're too easy.
I just know that's a saying, gloom and doom.
If you can get them that close to emergency, boy, this is repetitious almost. Emergency room picture. What picture do they take?
X-ray.
X-ray.
Oh, yeah.
That y'all, I already used that once.
The X-ray wasn't the answer.
Where is a bear's refuge?
In the woods.
I guess
Where
so.
does a bear live?
In a
The
cave.
forest?
A den.
Cave.
A den. They live in
They
their
live
den.
in a den? Okay.
They live in a den.
Den.
Really?
That's where they.
That's a bigger TV.
That's where they hibernate.
Oh, okay.
And when that little baby is born, it's about the size of a walnut.
Really?
And the mama's asleep, and that baby's born, and that baby gets its milk.
Wow. I've never thought about that.
Listen to me, Billy. You learn.
Yeah. How long do they hibernate for?
Several weeks.
That's
They
crazy.
have gorged themselves for a long period of time so that they can live for a while without eating.
That's amazing.
I can go
Yeah.
I can go 3 hours without eating.
You know, they say they're showing up now in this part of the states.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
we're getting-
I've
That's
seen 3 here.
Have you? Oh.
Wow.
The reason
30
is
years.
because we're messing up their habitat where they live.
That is true. That is true.
Building
Your
Yep.
watch winder
The stem?
stem.
grandson.
That said, I never got a watch. What? I didn't get that.
There it is.
You don't wind your watch, do you?
A stem. Okay. I don't ever wear a watch though, so
That's
I guess
my
that's why.
1955 Dr. watch.
You don't have to wind it.
No,
No,
Okay.
I'd say not. I'd say
that's
not.
all of trivia.
Well,
We did pretty good.
I think we did. Those were kind of all over the place.
I think I only had to tell you one. Matinee Idol. Well, you got
Well, that did-
star, but movie stars held a special place in people's thinking.
Oh.
They made an idol out of them. They really did.
Okay.
What is the term American Idol?
Exactly. Yeah.
The show American Idol, and that's not good. That's one of the things God gave the death penalty for was idolatry.
Well, that's what I was thinking. That's not.
God said, if you're guilty of murder, death. If you're guilty of idolatry, death. If you're guilty of adultery, death. If you're guilty of human sacrificing, death.
If you're guilty of cutting your hair, death. If you're guilty of working on Sunday, death.
You're right. Gosh.
And there are a number of other abominations. Isn't
Wow.
it interesting how we just choose the ones we want to pay attention to and forget the rest?
That is very interesting.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize all that.
Don't wear makeup.
Right. Wow.
You don't believe in shaving either, do you?
I need to.
I gotta have some hair somewhere.
Papa with a
Good to
slam
meet
there.
you. Yeah, you are a legend.
Did you hear that? You're a legend, Papa. His head will get so big he won't be able to fit out the door here, folks. Well, thanks for coming by today, Dean. And can they go to a webpage or anything to find out more?
You can go to www.voteforsparks.com.
Okay.
Or you can call me at 637-6319.
Okay.
637-6319.
That's correct.
Okay. So you heard that.
voteforsparks.com.
Or go to his webpage, voteforsparks.com. And Election Day is November the 3rd.
November 3rd, but early voting starts October 14th.
Right.
So,
Which is next
week.
Wednesday.
Next
I believe, yeah. So early voting, you can early vote or be at the polls on November the 3rd.
I don't
folks.
believe in luck, so I won't say good luck, but good hunting.
good. Thank you very much. I'm vote hunting.
Exactly. All right. Well, we'll go to a break, and then me and Papa will be back for some sports of all sorts, and of course Albertology. That's all coming up after the break.
I'll take care of less today, Dylan. Oh, no, I lost my debit card.
Hey, use that new Mountain Valley Bank app we got. You know, Card Valet. You can freeze your card so nobody can use it till you find it.
That's a good idea, Dylan. Where was the last place I used my debit card?
I don't know. Hurry up. I can't stay until I hear error. I feel like I'm doing the mannequin challenge. I'm gonna end up with lockjaw. Thank God.
The app freezes my debit card, Dylan, not you.
Oh.
You can buy a used car, you can buy a used truck. Come on down to Victory Pre-Owned and trade us in your old junk. Get yourself a brand new ride. We handle all the financing inside. At Victory Pre-Owned, we'll do our best to make it right. Come on down to Victory Pre-Owned.
Welcome back to the Albert and Billy Show here on WUAT Radio and Channel 18 Valley TV and YouTube. Thanks to our sponsor, Citizens Tri-County Bank, Bilbrey Insurance. Be sure to go see Frank, Susan, and Sadie, of course. Can't forget Sadie. It's Scotty's right here on Main Street. I'm with the Scotty Burger, as you say, Papa. The offices of Emma Boynton, Lisa Wheeler, and Michael Walker. Farm Bureau Insurance, go see Matt Massengale and his friendly staff for all your insurance needs. Popple Family Dentistry, Mags Auto, The Loom, our neighbor, right here on Cumberland Avenue. And as we said a couple weeks ago, new business that we literally right here with us, aren't they? Nickel Row Antiques. And we actually filmed there. You guys will get to see that. We filmed there last week and had a good time.
There's some fine folks there.
There is. If you haven't checked that place out, guys, you really need to.
Meet some of the vendors.
We sure did. Had a good time.
And Frida, I think, runs the whole kit and caboodle.
Right.
She is extra nice. I can't tell you the things she's done for me.
No, she keeps giving you jars.
There are other things besides that.
Yeah, probably food and.
I think she likes old dogs and old men.
Oh, I see that.
Which am I?
Both. I'm going to have to tell her I need some treats now. Well, sports.
Football first.
It's been crazy, so yeah.
Football first.
We'll dive into it.
Who do we play tonight?
Bledsoe. We play Monterey.
Monterey.
Tonight. This, in my opinion, will be their last test of the regular season.
Well, Monterey, I don't think's lost a game.
They have not. They've not played as tough a schedule though either.
Well, evidently not, because every sports writer that's drawing a salary from the Chattanooga Times Free Press, they picked Bledsoe.
Yeah, I can see
8-0.
Wow.
And
Bledsoe's gave up a touchdown in 2 weeks at least. Yeah,
2 different trips. We've made 8
Shut 'em
quarters
out.
without a point being scored on our defense.
That's impressive.
And
that is.
in the local paper, it gave some of the reasons why. We've got some defenders that are tackling behind the line of scrimmage. And you got to be good. If you go through their defensive line and tackle their player in the backfield, you've done something.
Absolutely.
And that's high school ball.
And that's a reminder. No, we're going to have them really soon. Maybe a couple of the players and the head coach. They're going to be a guest on this show the coming weeks. So yeah, we'll get to talk more about that.
They were on the on the Chattanooga Channel 9.
Oh yeah, they were. It was filmed.
Absolutely.
It was filmed.
That's kind of cool.
It was.
Well, Bledsoe County, they visited Marion County last.
Big win.
And that was last Friday night, wasn't it?
It was, and that's a huge win right there.
And I believe we won 17-0.
Yeah, we did. Our defense played great.
But we had to drive down to Jasper to play the game. And I think after the game was over, their players and their fans were glad we left town.
I think so too.
We were unwelcome guests.
I think so too.
But that win elevated us up to 6-0.
Yeah,
and,
undefeated.
I think Marion County was rated number 6.
Yeah, we were ranked number 5 and they were number 6. I mean, it was
a nip and tuck.
It was.
Supposedly.
It kind of was until Bledsoe did pull away in the end, and
I think one of the big reasons we won is, well, of course we've got those big 3. We've got Killebrew. Killebrew. Harmon Keith. Listen, there's a Harmon Killebrew baseball.
Oh, okay.
But Harmon got 7 out of 10 passes. That's good ratio.
That's really good.
If you're in the pros, if you complete 7 out of 10.
That's right.
But Robeck gave us 116 yards rushing. Cadillac averaged 9 yards a carry for every time he touched the ball.
That's very impressive.
And then we got the field goal from what's his name? Tristan. I remember when Tristan was a little old boy.
He's a kicker just like his brother.
But anyway, I would think that Bledsoe will be 7-0 after tonight.
I think so too. I do.
Okay.
And you can listen to that game, folks. It is in Monterey, but you can listen to that right here on WUAT tonight. Kickoff is at 7 p.m., but Mike and Bradley will have the pregame show for you at 6:30. So be sure to tune in. If you don't make it to the game, be sure to listen.
I wonder how many people, it doesn't say anything about limitation.
It actually did. For our part, it's like 400 people.
That's sad.
I know.
But it's a sign of the times.
Yeah.
Tennessee played in front of 21,000 last week. So it's just, it goes, and then you watch all this great tennis being played.
I know.
And there's maybe
hardly nobody.
5 or 6 people out here scattered in the stands.
I know. It is hard to watch. But
horse racing, the Preakness in Baltimore was run last week, and this is the 3rd leg of the Triple Crown. And Authentic was supposed to have won, but Authentic did not win.
Right.
The winner was skydiver, Swiss skydiver.
Oh,
I don't know where these names come from, but anyway, that's got horse racing out of the way. That's the Triple Crown. So,
right.
now the French Open is still going on.
Yeah, down to the finals, I believe.
Boy, let me tell you, I've been watching some mighty fine tennis.
Yeah.
Mighty fine tennis. I've not been watching the women, but I've been watching the men.
Mm-hmm.
And Nadal is in the semis.
He is an excellent clay court player. He's won that tournament so many times.
But Thiem got put out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was an
And
upset.
Diego Schwartzman put him out.
Mm-hmm.
But they had to play 5 hours and 8 minutes to get the decision which one would go on.
I don't see how they do it.
I just don't see how you could do that.
That's very impressive too.
And
I don't see how they do that.
I watched Busta beat Djokovic. I saw him beat him the first set, and then straight sets went the other way. 3 straight sets.
I know. I know Djokovic stepped up his game, but that guy kind of went away.
He had a problem. I could tell he was not right. He kept hitting himself with his racket and rubbing his arm on a chair, and so it was.
He'll have to play a lot better if he's going to beat Nadal. A lot better. Because Nadal is he's very good on clay.
But the French Open is one of the biggies, so
it's a major, and it's interesting being played this time of year. It's the only year it's done that. Serena had to pull out though with an injury. I hated to see that.
But
an American girl is in the final, and she just broke through this year. She won the Australian Open, and now here she is in the French Open final. So. She's American. Good to see that.
I am seeing more and more outstanding tennis players than I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed to me like in the past, when I got interested in tennis, that you had the same old
about
every year, But now you're seeing, the same
more
thing
parity.
is true in golf. There is more parity. That's a good word, Billy. What does that mean?
More evenly matched,
Okay,
there's more talented people.
Just want to see if you understood. Okay. Tennessee versus Missouri last week in football.
Hey, we won. That's all that matters.
Mr. Garantano turned in his best performance as of all, in my opinion.
And he's had some good performances.
But 14 out of 23 passes.
That's really good.
Pretty close to good.
It was very good. The only time I've seen him play that good ever was the Auburn game a couple years ago, and he done it again against Missouri.
Of course, he only got 190 yards, and that's not really sufficient for an SEC team. But anyway, we were able to beat Missouri.
Big win.
This game tomorrow is Georgia. And then you've got Florida in the wings, and you've got Alabama in the wings.
Talk about a brutal schedule, man alive.
These next 3 games are not going to be Missouri.
No.
They're not going to be Missouri.
They're not South Carolina and Missouri, no.
But in fact, I will be tickled to death if we come out with 1 win out
I would too. I hope we can at least win one of those games because
of the 3.
It's that tough of a stretch.
She is so excited.
Really?
She's alumni.
Georgia, yeah.
We have a woman in our church that is a Georgia fan. We have a woman in our church that's an Alabama fan too.
Yeah, we have a few of those around here.
I don't understand why.
I don't either, Papa.
LaVon, how in the world can you be married to an Alabama fan?
I know she's a big time Alabama fan.
Man alive, she'll wear Alabama close to the church.
I know it. I
think
know
that's
it.
a sin. Eric Gray got.
He's good. He's good. He's just a sophomore.
Eric Gray got. He touched the ball 16 times and he got 105 yards.
He's good.
We've got some good runners.
Yeah.
And we've got a good offensive line.
Yeah, and that's what we've been missing the last few years.
If we had a quarterback, we had a quarterback last week that matched,
He's streaky though.
But if we
He's
had
streaky.
if we had the caliber of a quarterback that I had confidence in, like I do
Yes.
the rest of the team,
Yes.
I would say that of the Alabama and Georgia and the Florida game, we might win 2 out of 3.
Yeah, I agree.
I would say that.
But he's just so streaky. When he's on, he's great, but you just don't know what you're going to get with him.
The Georgia game is going to be in Athens.
That's an advantage to them.
The last time I went to Athens to see Tennessee play Georgia, I got to meet Herschel Walker.
Cool.
I got to meet Herschel Walker, and he was the most friendly, gentle, big old man. He didn't have a neck. His head was hanging in his back, but he was with his girlfriend, and they later married. Mm-hmm. But he came off the bench, never had got to carry the ball, and he tore Tennessee all to heck.
Oh yeah, he's a legend.
But the ball game will be on CBS tomorrow afternoon at 2:30 our time.
Okay.
Be sure and watch and root for Tennessee, please.
Yeah.
Alabama won last week without any trouble.
Big shocker there.
Kentucky was playing Ole Miss, and the score was tied 35-35. Went into overtime.
Yes.
Well, Kentucky scored and missed their extra point. So that made them 41, and the other team had 35. Then the other team scored their touchdown and their extra point. And they won
made theirs
42-41. Don't you know that kicker that missed that extra point?
Yeah.
He got calls all night long
I'm
from
sure.
hate fans.
I feel bad for them when that happens to them. They're under so much pressure that has to bother them. So that means Lane Kiffin, I guess, got his first win as head coach of the Ole Miss Rebels.
He didn't get his win. Kentucky lost.
I agree. They kind of gave that game to them. That's true.
LSU beat Vanderbilt without any trouble.
Oh, Vanderbilt ran into an angry LSU team.
I'll be surprised if Vanderbilt wins the game.
I will too. I didn't see much.
And I guarantee you there's going to be several teams that will wind up with 5-5 records.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're bashing each other's head. That's
right.
South Carolina lost to Florida. Arkansas upset Mississippi State.
See, I think Mississippi State had a letdown from the big win over LSU. And I think LSU destroyed Vanderbilt because they were angry because they lost that game to Mississippi State.
They were angry.
They demolished them.
Georgia is meanwhile they have elevated themselves all the way up to number 3 in the land.
I know.
Tennessee went from number 21, which is in the Netherlands, but now we are up to 14, which is a lot more respectable.
That's respectable. It is.
And
I wish we could pull off that upset, but it's a big ask.
It will be an upset.
It would be.
I'd say Georgia would be favored by 13 points.
I'd say so.
You automatically get a 7-0 start if you're playing at home.
I know. I wish it was in Knoxville.
Hey,
that would help. That would help some.
Georgia should be favored though.
They would be, absolutely.
Okay, in high school ball, Marion County defeated Tyner again. The only reason I'm saying that is because Patricia's sister, Nita, her husband used to work with the Tyner team. Tyner, that's 3 games they lost.
They didn't. No, we beat Marion County, so it must have been somebody else.
Marion County beat Tyner.
Okay, what did they do? Play 2 games last week or something?
Well, no, I just never had reported on that score.
So they done a couple weeks ago.
This was last night.
Okay, there we go.
Tyner has they've lost 3 ball games.
That's a whole lot for them.
I called Nita, and Buddy's not helping with the team this year.
Okay, well maybe that's what it is.
He's out deer hunting.
That might be what it is.
Okay, in baseball. The Braves took on Miami, and the Braves drew first blood, and then they went on and they beat Miami.
Okay, is this the playoff?
This is the playoffs.
That's what I thought.
That was the wild card entry, and they already won. And now they took on. I guess it's Miami. They won 3 in a row.
What's Miami called in baseball? Are they the Marlins now or something?
The Marlins.
So instead of the Florida Marlins, they're the Miami Marlins now. Okay. They used to be the Florida Marlins. Remember when they first started?
I think that's why I got it down Miami, didn't I?
Mm-hmm. You do.
Anyway, they've won both their tries by winning every game.
Oh.
First one was 2 out of 3, and the next one was 3 out of 5.
Yeah, so they swept both series then. Wow.
And over in the junior circuit, the American League, the Astros took care of the Oakland Athletics.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Didn't they?
And the Yankees in Tampa Bay, they're playing their 5th game tonight, which will be the deciding game.
Oh, wow. Yankees having to go to game 5. I'm glad.
In sports, I want to ask you some questions.
Okay.
Where are you if you're in Soldier Field? What city?
Soldier Field. Okay, Wrigley Field's the Cubs.
Well, but some of these are baseball and some of them are football.
Oh, okay. Soldier Field, crap. Is that the Bears? Is that where they play?
Chicago. Okay, yes. Where are you if you're in Lambeau Field?
Where?
Lambeau.
Oh, God.
That's football.
Lambeau Field. Is it really cold at that place? Is it Green Bay? Yes.
Mile High Stadium.
Denver.
I was by Mile High Stadium when it was being constructed.
Wow. Yeah. It's a nice stadium.
Stadium.
That's where Alabama plays.
Alabama.
Yeah.
Wrigley Field.
The Chicago Cubs. You've been there.
I've been there. That's
a classic.
That's to be continued.
Yeah, that's a legendary place there.
It is.
It really is.
And when I did that report on O'Hare Airport,
yes,
I can remember we were sitting there in the Chicago Cubs Stadium, and those planes would come by our eyesight every 2 minutes.
I bet.
I found that information on Butch O'Hare.
Mm-hmm.
How he got killed, he was on a mission, and they had not put enough gas in his plane. And so he told his flight commander, he said, my gas gauge shows me I don't have enough fuel to go and to get back. He said, turn around right now. So he did. He turned around and go back to the mothership. And when he did, he sighted a group of Japanese bombers on their way to bomb the ship. And he took all of them on by himself till he ran out of ammunition. He downed 5 enemy planes and tried to dip the tails off of others with his wings.
Yeah.
And finally they gave up and left.
Wow.
And then he landed, and his camera showed them what all he had done.
Wow.
And later on another mission he was killed, and he got the Medal of Honor. And that's how come they named O'Hare Airport after Butch O'Hare.
Well, he deserved that.
Yeah.
He deserved that. That's a hero right there.
Did you know? You ready for Albertology?
Okay, it's Albertology time, folks, so I guess I am ready.
Now, this was before Trump.
Okay.
I don't know if Trump has changed these stats or not.
Okay.
But there are 96 full-time employees employed by the White House as a staff.
Did not know that.
There are 250 part-time employees
at the White House.
There are a lot of these that are college kids just there temporarily.
Interns, yeah.
Then there is one social secretary, and they are the conduit between the first family and the residents' staff.
Really?
And they supervise the seating for state dinners. They tell you who's going to sit where, and that's one person. One person. You have 8 ushers, and they manage the residents' budget, the house maintenance, and the staff scheduling.
Wow.
It takes 8 of them.
Yeah. I can
There
see
are
that.
6 butlers that serve the first family in their private quarters,
Okay.
and they serve the guests at all the receptions.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are 6 florists that create unique arrangements that suits whatever the first family says they want wherever they want it.
Wow.
6 full-time florists.
I know. That's crazy
They get
right
a different
there.
bouquet every day.
I'd say they do.
I have had 3 or 4 floral arrangements given to me this year.
Hey, you're doing something right, Pawpaw.
Floral arrangements to me? I don't know what I ever did to deserve one.
You must be doing something
3
right.
There are 3 calligraphers. You know what a calligrapher?
What in the world is that?
They handwrite every invitation for all the White House events.
Oh, wow.
They handwrite them.
Well, that'd be a full-time job right there then.
The president has 3 personal valets that attend his every need.
Can see that. I can
3
see that.
valets.
Yeah. Wow.
You have 13 people that serve as ground crew for the White House lawn.
Mm-hmm.
There are 52 acres that they have to keep mowed.
Wow. Well, that makes sense though.
There is one man that oversees the furniture, the art that is hung on the walls.
Really?
Any objects that are used to furnish the residence has to go through that one person. And don't you know that other countries give artifacts and things to our president at times?
Well, sure. Yeah, I'm sure they do.
And so that person has the responsibility of deciding what goes where and if it does go.
Dang. No, I never think about the people that work at the White House. I never really thought about that much. That's a lot of people.
Didn't Marvin have someone that used to be on the White House staff?
Oh yeah, his nephew.
Yeah, his nephew.
Danny. Mm-hmm.
Danny.
Yep.
Christmas with Dolly.
Ah.
Dolly Parton. I don't know how old she is, but
She's in her 70s now. Early 70s, but yeah. But she don't look it.
She's making, today is when it comes out, October the 2nd.
What, a Christmas album?
And it's the first one she's made in 30 years.
Wow. And she's got some good Christmas
This is
songs.
what she's doing during her quarantine time.
Okay.
But some of these are classic Christmas songs, like All I Want for Christmas Is My Two Front Teeth. I doubt she's got that one. But All I Want for Christmas Is You, probably one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Reckon she's got...
She writes a lot of songs, though.
Yes, she does. But reckon she's got Little Drummer Boy on there.
I don't know.
She's got some of her original tunes that she wrote.
She's got some really good Christmas songs that she wrote.
She's got some duets that she's got on her album.
Oh, good.
Billy Ray Cyrus.
Yeah.
Miley Cyrus.
Okay.
Billy Ray. Jimmy Fallon and Willie Nelson. How much longer is Willie Nelson going to be around to sing? I think I've been hearing him for 100 years.
I know. No, he's in his 80s, like late 80s.
Yeah. And then she's got one song on this album that she recorded with her brother Randy.
Really? Well, that's good.
Isn't that something?
I don't know if I've ever heard him sing.
Well, I haven't either.
Well over 2,000 songs is what Dolly's wrote.
I'm sure.
We've for the Apartments before.
Yeah.
Many times.
That many.
Oh, yeah. She talks about that a lot.
That's what you would call a prolific writer.
She is, and she's wrote some good Christmas ones. Hard Candy Christmas, that's a good one. She got some good Christmas songs with Kenny Rogers, a couple of duets.
Kenny Rogers is a good man to have on your album that you sang
Definitely.
with. But he's not on this one.
Well, he passed away this year. He did, yeah. I know.
There's people dying that never died before.
Good point.
I gotta remember that. I'm writing it down.
Ask Marilyn. Here's what Marilyn and I like to refer to Marilyn as
The smartest woman.
on the planet.
You heard it, folks.
She was asked, why are humans told not to drink from bodies of water such as lakes? But wild animals seem to drink from them without suffering harm.
That's very true.
All right, here's her answer. First, by drinking the water repeatedly, many animals develop immunity to the bacteria that's there.
That's the difference.
Consider if you're a traveler, you have diarrhea as a human example from being exposed to other water in other places.
Yeah.
Visitors to many
Don't drink the water in Mexico.
You get a gastrointestinal upset from water that is just fine to the people who live there, but you can't tolerate it.
That's true.
Secondly, harmful bacteria is often mildly problematic to wild animals, but they benefit from the water more than they would the shortcomings of the bacteria. They need the water, so they keep on drinking it, and they build up an immunity to the bacteria.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
It's soon cleared away, and animals have a lot more acid in their stomach, I believe.
Okay. I mean, I've been to Mexico, 4 or 5 times, but I never drank the water because I was always warned, do not drink it. So I didn't. They didn't tell me twice. I didn't.
If they told me if I ever went to another it'd have to be by boat.
I know.
If they told me that I'm gonna get very sick if I drink that water, so here's a glass of wine, you better drink the wine.
You dang right. Yeah.
I ain't gonna drink that wine.
Well, you gonna drink that water? That'd be kind of dumb, wouldn't
I'll
it?
drink coffee. I want to tell some jokes, but first I've got one president's thumbnail sketch I want to do.
Okay, and what president is this?
This is Andrew Johnson.
Oh, okay.
He was number 17.
Oh, yeah.
Just after the Civil War, 1865 to 1869. He had no college education. He was a tailor. Made his living. People used to be able to go to a tailor and have their suit made.
Yeah.
More so than
they do today. Yeah.
He was a legislator.
Okay.
He was in the Democratic Party. But he was elected vice president under Abe as a Republican.
Oh.
And he finished out Abe's second term when he was assassinated.
Oh.
3 years and 323 days. And then the Civil War ended.
Right.
The 13th Amendment to the Constitution, which ended slavery, was enacted.
Oh, while he was president.
He escaped being impeached by one vote.
Ooh.
Nebraska became the 37th state.
Okay.
He was the first president to be what?
He can't read his own writing, folks.
I can't read my own writing. Folks, that's the first mistake I ever made. He never listen.
Today.
If I told you this man's name, you would remember him. He's dead now, but his daughter told me the other day he only went to the 3rd grade. If you're listening,
really?
blah, blah, you'll know what I'm talking about. But this man never attended school.
Andrew Johnson didn't?
And he became president of the United States.
Okay, now that's
He
amazing.
never attended school.
Wow.
At 17, his wife taught him how to write.
No way.
He was the first president to become a senator 6 years after his impeachment hearing.
Really?
I thought that was neat.
That is. I've never heard of a president becoming a senator later on. That might be a one and only thing there.
Probably.
I wonder if they're allowed to do that now. They must not be because none of them do it. Very interesting, Papa. That was.
A truck carrying 12 tons of liquid chocolate spilled its load across a European highway.
But a lot of people like that.
The local newspaper, asked its readers,
Oh.
If a confectioner were to scrape up and sell all that chocolate, what brand name would you put on what you're selling? Here are their suggestions.
Oh gosh.
Mr. Goodtar
Yeah.
instead of Mr. Goodbar. Literally, Fifth Avenue. Fifth Avenue was my favorite candy bar when I was
I still like
I
those.
loved it. Three Musketeers. That was Eddie Albert's favorite candy bar.
That's a good one too.
Gutterfinger. That was Patricia's favorite candy bar, Butterfinger. Can you imagine?
That's pretty good.
These two dog owners are talking, bragging about which one's dog is the smartest. And so the first owner says, "My dog is so smart that every morning he goes to the store and buys me a sesame seed bagel.
Boy, he's smart.
Chive cream cheese, stops off at a Starbucks and picks me up a mocha latte, and then comes home and turns on ESPN all before I get out of bed."
A dog does that? That's
And
one
the
talented dog.
And the second owner says, "I know." And the first owner said, "Well, how do you know?"
Yeah.
"My dog told me." I like that.
That's a good way to top it. They do have some smart dogs in.
Both of them have smart dogs.
Well, I reckon.
All right. Today I had my first job interview and didn't have much of an appetite because of my nerves in going in
That's
for the interview.
understandable, yeah.
So I grabbed a brownie that my roommate had left in the fridge
Mm-hmm.
and ate it on the train ride into the city.
Okay.
About 20 minutes into my interview, I was so stoned I couldn't speak. I want to tell you about brownies. Listen, this is the truth. I employed a man to come to my house to do the weed eating for me. My doctor had told me they had mowed my yard for me once or twice, and I figured I couldn't afford that and the weed eating too. So I started doing my own mowing, but I let the weed eating go, and so I told him I'd like for him to come and do the weed eating for me. And I said, and on the other side of my fence that belongs to the city of Pikeville, they will not weed eat that fence row. And my property is 140 feet long. I said, I want you to do the weed eating on their side of my fence all the way up. I want you to do around the trees of my neighbor's house and mine, and around my driveway and my house.
Okay.
And he said, okay. I had made a batch of brownies. When he got through, I said, well, sir, how much do I owe you? He said, I want a batch of your brownies. So help me. And that's all it cost me.
Hey,
but I had to
can't
give
beat
him
that.
a whole batch of brownies.
That's pretty good. That's because Papa makes some dang good brownies, folks.
I thought that was pretty neat, though, babe.
That is. Your brownies are famous, I'm telling you. Everybody loves your brownies.
It's probably that extra additive.
Yeah.
Extra.
I told the girls at school that wanted me to give them my recipe, and I said, when I die,
He won't give it. I don't even like brownies, but I do like yours. I do.
Today, my boyfriend of 2 years took me to get a tattoo done with his name on it.
That's always a really bad idea.
He paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
And after it was done, he told me it was over between us. And he thought it'd be a nice reminder of me, of him to me.
That's cold. That is cold. That's wrong.
I talked to a man this week. I talked to a man this week that had tattoos pretty well all over him, and he said he wished that he had not had it done.
Yeah, a lot of people end up saying that later on.
I read about 3 tattoo parlors that had dedicated themselves to those people that wished they had not had it done.
Yeah.
They would try their best to correct some of the images that they had on to convert them into something else.
Wow.
And I thought that was tremendous.
Yeah.
They were in different states, but I read about that and I thought,
That's probably
that's
been
a marvelous ministry.
I mean, yeah, that helps a lot of people out.
But there's some things that I'm sure that people have on their...
A lot of people can't afford to have them removed later on. You know, I mean, it's not cheap to do that.
This boy that told me said he knew of one man that had a tattoo on his neck that cost $500.
Yeah.
$500.
Wow. That's kind of crazy to spend that much money on one.
Today, I sent a text to my college boyfriend to tell him how terrible I felt about cheating. He replied saying he was so relieved because he had been cheating on me with a girl in his dorm. But I was talking about I cheated on my math exam. Cheating does not pay.
No. That's pretty good, though.
This will be the last one. Today, after work, I went to the parking lot to my car to go home. I found my doors on my car heavily scratched and all my tires cut. And there was a note on my windshield, and the note read, "Bleep you, Jackson." I'm Tyler. Jax is my coworker. That'd be my luck.
I know.
My name's Albert. I'm not Billy.
Listen at you. Those are pretty good. I liked them.
Pretty good.
I thought they were. We always try to end it on a funny note, don't we? A good joke. And I want to thank once again Dean Sparks for joining us today, who is a candidate for state representative. And good show today. Had a good time. Wish the weather out's kind of
I got a few drops of rain.
rainy looking out there. You know,
flowers are gone.
They're gone.
Petunias are gone. Ours are that I had to keep the dead blooms off.
Yeah.
We've got pansies.
Really?
Yellow pansies.
Well, I mean, he'll be taking care of them too, more likely.
You don't have to pick the dead blooms off of pansies.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good for you.
But if
then.
they don't water them, you know what I did? I slipped up here and watered those flowers.
I had a feeling you were doing that. That's what he does, Daryl.
I'm gonna make you help pay for my water bill.
Especially buying it like that.
Well, thanks for joining us, folks. Thanks for listening on WUAT Radio and for watching on Facebook Live and Channel 18 Valley TV and, of course, on YouTube. We'll see you guys next week for another edition of the Albert and Billy Show. So long, folks.
Brought to you by Bledsoe Telephone Cooperative, your full-service telecommunications provider right here in the Sequatchie Valley.